Welcome to Innovation, Reading Skills, Level 5. Story Reading. Johnny Appleseed of Pennsylvania. Johnny Appleseed, whose real name was John Chapman, was born on September 26, 1744, in Leominster. As a small boy, he lived on a large farm with his parents in Pennsylvania, America. His parents were apple growers and owned 59.6 acres of land on which they grew apples along with other fruits. One day, Johnny was playing on his farm when he saw a carriage come to a halt close to where he was playing. It was a grand carriage of black and gold, and its axle had broken. The owner of the carriage stepped down. While the carriage was being repaired, he was John Quincy Adams, the then president of the USA. When Johnny had got over his surprise, he offered the president the juiciest apple from the farm. The president was pleased to get this delicious fruit and said that it was the juiciest apple he had ever tasted. Thus, the idea of growing apples struck in Johnny's mind. When Johnny was growing up, new settlers in America were moving from their old farms in the east to settle on new farms further west. Johnny decided to travel to the west like them and set off from his home with a bag of apple seeds. His dream was that no one should go hungry, and thus, for 50 years he bought large tracts of land and planted them with apple orchards. In 1801, he arrived on horseback at the farm of John Steddon in Licking Creek, Ohio. In the course of their meeting, Johnny Appleseed told him of his mission of planting apple seeds all over the countryside. Farmer Steddon thought Chapman was rather eccentric, but he listened to the man's plans to head west and plant apple seeds along the way for future settlers. In 1802, he began his work of planting apple trees. He filled 16 bushels of apple seeds and, lashing together to canoes, he sailed down the Ohio River. On landing on the other bank, he filled leather sacks with the seeds and began planting them. He also bartered his seeds for old clothes. He was always welcomed at farmers' homes. Thus, Appleseed began to plant apple seeds wherever he found a suitable place. He would fence the area with fallen trees and branches and sow the seeds. Then he would return to the spot later to tend to his trees, and, when they were ready, he would sell them to farmers for 6 cents each. He also told the farmers in the new settlements how to take care of their saplings, build nurseries of young apple saplings, and take care of their orchards. Soon he came to be called Johnny Appleseed by farmers and settlers. Johnny Appleseed was a nature lover. He used to wear a coffee sack as a shirt. He would go about barefoot and wore a tin pot instead of a hat. For over 40 years, Appleseed continued to plant apple seeds everywhere he went, from Pennsylvania to Illinois. Everywhere he told people about the benefits of seeds and their food value. He continued doing so until his death in 1845. When Johnny died, people all over the area wanted to show their gratitude to him. At his gravesite in Fort Wayne, Indiana, they put up a stone marker bearing the epitaph, "He lived for others."